This call's gonna make me mad.
Is that?
Why?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. I swear.
Okay.
You already said
I'm-
something.
This is terrible.
I'm sorry. I'm
She's
sorry.
fucking tweeting pictures of her in Broncos fucking bullshit.
I
fucking
feel like a
Broncos?
jackass.
set her
I'm
goddamn house
sorry.
on fire.
Who cares?
I'm
Broncos rule.
sorry.
No,
I'm
you're not.
sorry. I
Broncos
feel
rule.
mean.
Nobody
Now what's up?
cares. Nobody cares about football. By the way, just to let you know, nobody cares about football. Thank you for calling us today. So, what's up? Keeping in mind, we're not discussing football.
No. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I want to ask. What's one movie you could watch like forever and not get tired of?
One movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just one movie.
That's interesting because you could I'm sure there's lots of people when they get that question think, oh, what's my favorite movie? Like I might say, 2001: A Space Odyssey, but like you don't want to watch that all day. You know what I mean? It's important to find one that is just I can put this on and not and not that this is my pick, but I remember you said that once about the movie Clerks. Like not even that it was like the pinnacle of filmmaking, but you can leave it running and it's kind of just like, all right, Oh, you okay?
Sean, have your seat back.
That's fine.
I thought you were-
I'm back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Tonight, that's fine.
You look spooky in the darkness with that get up.
Oh, he's spooked?
You look like an assassin.
Oh.
Anyway,
Sean, do you have a movie that you can watch over and over?
Just
and
leave it
not,
on.
Not get tired of it?
Yeah.
What?
And Groundhog's Day. I could watch
that's ironic.
all. I know.
I know, right?
But that movie is.
I was waiting to see if that was like his real answer.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah, I thought I was like,
Whenever
I
that
don't want to
movie's
steal
on,
his
I will
gag.
watch the whole thing. I love that movie.
I gave it a second. I was like, don't steal his gag because I think that's what he's going
No,
for.
that's-
Wait a second. Oh, it's not.
No gag. That's it.
Yeah.
Groundhog's
Jump
Day.
on it.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. And for me, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I watch that all day.
It's not it's not like in my top 3 like favorite movies, but man, probably like Die Hard.
Really?
I think Die Hard.
I think these movies don't have to be in your top even
Yeah.
20.
No, and that's what I was saying. Like when I brought up the example of Clerks, it's like that wouldn't even be in my top 10, but it's inoffensive and just kind of plays and it's fun.
Yep. Yeah. I like Die Hard that much. You guys have answers? You have an answer here?
I can't really think
No,
of one.
I'm trying to think of a movie that I wouldn't get sick of, but I try to watch movies and then not rewatch them for a long time.
Yeah.
I try to do that with. I feel like I watch like a lot of TV shows, like Bob's Burgers. I feel like I've seen a lot,
Yeah.
and then I'm rewatching again.
You know
and I
what's
try not
funny
to
though?
stop.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was the type of kid who would latch onto something and watch it to the point of memorization. So I think I just can't do that anymore as an
Yeah.
adult. Like I broke
Yeah.
that capability in my brain. My mom used to own this gift basket store, and so I'd spend a lot of time there after school, and next door to it was a video store. And I would go in there every day and just watch. They'd let me pick whatever movie. This was back when video stores would actually have a shitty TV on the counter with a VCR, and they would pick a random VHS and just play it.
Yeah.
To demonstrate, like, this is where you get the movies. So, like, this is where you get the movie. I don't know, like, I'm here at the fucking video store. Am I gonna watch this?
This is
And
what you
that's
could be
exactly
doing.
what you did as a kid.
Yeah.
But as a kid, yeah, 'cause I was the one who would actually watch it. So they'd be like, you can pick any movie you want and watch it here. And I would just pick Ninja Turtles Part 2, Secret of the Ooze every single day. I watched that movie probably 300 times. as a
Yeah,
kid.
I did too.
The people working there like didn't
too.
give a shit.
They hated it. After a while, they would be like, really? Because I was so young. I was in first grade at the time, so I was probably like 5, I think, because I was in school a little early. So it's just this 5-year-old, this is the 40th day he has this movie. They're like, again? You want to watch this one again? After a while, they banned me from watching that one.
You
They're
were
like,
5!
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We just can't watch Secret of the Ooze. They made up some story like, oh, the boss came in, the owner of the video store. He says you're watching this one too much. So I was like, okay, and I went back to the shelf and I got Ninja Turtles Part 1.
Oh.
They were not amused.
Loophole.
Outsmarted.
Found your loophole.
5-year-old loophole.
When
You
I
made another funny.
when I worked at Blockbuster, there was someone in our store that would take every opportunity. We would always play promo videos that Blockbuster made themselves. We wouldn't play movies. Every time we had a certain manager, they would go, "Oh, no one's going to care if we do this," and they'd play Finding Nemo every time. Well, and I asked, I'm like, "How come this every time? You don't want to put anything else?" Well, that we just know that one's safe for the store, and plus it's just so funny. Fisher French, not food.
fuck off.
Hey, yeah, I was this. Hey, real close to just fucking.
I can't work with shifts with you on shifts anymore.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I just remembered I quit.
Mine would probably be Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's a good
Okay,
can
but
never-
you
That's
know
a
what?
good one. I can watch
you
that
know
a
what?
lot.
I'm gonna give an answer, and you're all gonna think A, I'm lying or joking, or B, I'm a really terrible person. So get ready now. What's it gonna
I
be?
know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, Schindler's List.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I could watch Schindler's List not because.
Rocco's got this, like,
I
knowing
knew you were gonna
smile.
say that, but I
Let me
don't
just
get
say
it.
the reasons why I can watch Schindler's List.
Okay.
Any given moment of that movie is completely fascinating and brilliant filmmaking.
Yeah.
So as a filmmaker, I really like it.
Yeah.
And also, so much stuff happens in Schindler's List that every time I watch it, I almost forget about everything that goes on in that movie. There's so many different, like, compartmentalized sagas in Schindler's List, whether it's the people as the town is being evacuated and all the things they do to cope with it, or actually being at the concentration camps, or Oscar Schindler just living the high life, whatever. There's so many different stuff, different just like aspects to that movie that I can never fully wrap my brain around it. It's always just like I can watch it for the first time. That and Forrest Gump. I can watch.
Yeah, I could do that.
I can watch
I think
like
Forrest Gump's a good answer.
serious dramas. I could just do all the time, but I feel like
So you.
lighthearted movies get really boring to me because I feel
Yeah,
like you figure them out when you're watching them, and then you're just remembering like, oh yeah, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens.
See, that's funny. That's two different ways of looking at it. You look for density, you know, like oh, I'd rather have it be this. And when I think of, and again, this isn't our favorite movies necessarily, but when I think of something that could just be on all day, I think of something in almost like not that, like again, the example of Clerks. That movie never hits here or there. It's just I almost look for something like a song that's just da 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 da. I don't mind it being that. You know what I mean? When we're talking just like it's playing all day long.
Yeah, I would get
Yeah.
so bored watching Clerks over and over. And I don't really like that movie to begin with.
Sure.
It's
But
just like
I
that.
just use that as an example of it. It's just people talking.
No,
like
exactly.
a
I know what
story,
you mean. It's almost just
Yeah.
like putting an album on and just
Yeah.
listening to it in the background.
Yeah.
But that's not my style.
That's it. That's interesting. But Forrest Gump is a good one though because for me that isn't as heavy of a thing as Schindler's List. For me, I could do that one. You know, not that I couldn't. It would be years.
But it's both the
till
same
again.
thing. There's just so many
But-
compartmentalized
But
parts
exactly.
of Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump has stuff that every time you watch it, you go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, there's
Oh,
like different
yeah.
sagas within
Yeah.
that one movie.
No, somebody in the chat reminded me. They said I can watch Taxi Driver all day. I've watched Taxi Driver like 3 times in a row. Like I've watched it, it ended, it watched it again, it ended, and then I put it on with commentary.
Wow.
Wow.
I really like
Dumb.
that movie, but like
Dumb.
I don't know. I would get scared that it would get old, and I don't ever want that movie to get old.
We were talking. You know, we were mentioning this earlier, but I informed Eric this week that Raging Bull was $4 on
yeah,
Blu-ray.
thank you by that.
Oh, did you get that too?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And I didn't know that. You know,
Thank
and
you
it's
by
funny
that.
when we were talking about like what's the Scorsese movie. Eric's is Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
See, mine was always Raging Bull.
Really?
Raging Bull is
Wow.
my favorite, and I like Taxi Driver, but it isn't. It doesn't connect to me
I love that movie.
as much.
Love that
I
movie.
dig it and I respect it. Whatever, not my thing as much.
You know, it's
but
funny, I
Raging
think-
Bull was like that when it was over. That's his.
I think Casino is my favorite Scorsese movie.
Really?
Ooh, that's
'Cause
close
that was
though.
the first one I
Ooh.
watched.
Because if I was gonna ask my dad, he would say Goodfellas.
I would say Goodfellas.
My parents saw all his movies, saw
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. There's his Casino.
I like Casino. I think it's just
I
a little
love-
bit more polished
God, I
than
love
Goodfellas.
Casino.
Yeah, I
agree.
like it
You know
more
what?
than
more
Goodfellas.
You know what it is that De Niro isn't necessarily the main guy in Goodfellas. He's
he's not.
there,
Right.
but it's not his movie. And I feel like Casino is his movie, and it has that kind of gloss, like the Vegas glitz and glamour, and it changes a lot between dark and bright. Really, really often. You have like that blown out, like really spark, like when Sharon Stone has like all like the jewelry and everything.
Yeah.
It's very bright and like
Yeah.
see that
like
again.
a lot of sparkle and like shine and everything, and then it goes really dark when it's like back room of like a deli like mob meeting
Yes.
stuff, and it moves
never
from,
thought about that, but
it
that's
moves
really
from
true.
that like this gloss to like this really gritty shit,
Yeah.
and it moves from that so seamlessly that you never think about it.
Yeah.
I just really love Goodfellas because it starts and then it just gets a running start and it keeps going until it all goes to hell.
Yeah.
And then you just watch it all fall apart.
Yeah.
But the pacing is so good that
It is,
doesn't you never feel like a lull. You always just feel like the story keeps going, and it's like it gets really frantic, and then it all falls apart, and then like you have to watch them like try to get out of it.
Yeah,
that's
you
why
know
I like
what?
that
It's
movie.
funny though, but for some reason, yeah, Goodfellas was never my like. That was kind of whatever to me
Yeah.
too. Not that I disliked it, but that never connected to me. Casino did, and Raging Bull. Did. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of these.
Hey, I haven't seen Schindler's List, so
I haven't seen that either. Yeah.
You haven't seen Schindler's List?
nope.
Oh my god.
You're a dummy.
I am.
You should seriously watch it.
I know.
Don't bother.
Yeah, you know I've gotten this far.
You're not missing anything.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I saw Forrest Gump. I'm good.
It'll probably honestly piss you off. When you watch
You're
it.
gonna get mad.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, this is fucked up.
Yep.
People think this is entertainment. Don't watch it, dude.
Okay.
Save
can't-
yourself the heartache.
Candy Flavors in the chat says Kevin kind of stares off like he's had post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm staring at the chat.
Well, anyway, what was your screen name? Buttlord or whatever? What did you see? What have you seen Scorsese's movies? What is it? I don't remember what it is.
No,
But
I think
Lord.
I've seen
Is that the screen name?
Goodfellas. That I was really young
What?
when I watched it.
What was that?
What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that I watched Goodfellas when I was really, really young, but I don't really remember it. So I need to rewatch it.
You should definitely watch it again.
What's your go-to movie to watch over and over again?
I think it's have you guys heard of Old School with Will Ferrell and
Huh.
yeah.
have you heard of it?
You can watch
Please
that more than
remember.
once.
Yeah, I saw Old School in theaters with my dad.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
My favorite thing in connection to that movie is once when I worked at Blockbuster, you could claim displays. You know, the store would get a big display, and if you for some reason if you were a fan of this thing, we get a big Lord of the Rings
You just
display.
reminded me about what I had in my room.
Yeah, big Lord of the Rings display. I'll take that. So for a while, there was a big Lord of the Rings cardboard display in my room. It was just like whatever. But things would get snatched up really quick, because people could use stuff. So it's like, okay, Lord of the Rings shelves. Well, I just need shelves. So people would claim it,
Yeah.
And all the time, there were people who worked a lot more than me, and they would claim stuff before I did. I would claim the stuff that I knew nobody wanted and just, hey, fuck it. If nobody wants it, throw it away, But I'd claim it anyway. And one of which was they put the biggest, I'm talking from just huge old school banner. I mean, it was hung up in giant segments, 10-foot segments.
Sean remembers.
Yeah, 8 of them to make one giant image of Will Ferrell, with a beer bong, whatever.
Oh my god.
And I was just like, fuck it, claim it, whatever. And then they were done. Rocco, we're taking the display down. You really still want this? Put it somewhere. Yeah, okay. And so immediately took it and hung it up in Sean's room, I think, first. But didn't we hang it up and not tell him? I think that's how it started. I was with someone, maybe it was Jonathan, but we hung it up in Sean's room. I'm talking the entire length of the wall in his bedroom. No longer was there white wall space. It was giant Will Ferrell with a beer bong, and scared the shit out of him. And anyway, but then didn't you take a segment of it?
Yeah, I took Will Ferrell's face. I hung it up on my wall for years.
After the prank, we each
I
took
had
a
Will
chunk
Ferrell.
of it.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. So anyway, so old school. So I haven't seen it all day long every day, but I saw it on my friend's walls at any given point.
All the time.
Every day. I slept under the face of Will Ferrell.
What I love
The
is
grace of Will Ferrell.
do you guys remember Hollywood Video everyone had that same Batman Forever
Yes,
decal?
the same Batman Forever.
So when all of them closed down, some of those places still haven't been leased out. So you just walk by this empty building with no carpet, no shelves, nothing else. Batman Forever.
Yeah. It's got like Jim Carrey's the Riddler. Just,
Yep.
I love that it's still there. If I ever lease a place with a giant Batman Forever decal, I'm keeping that up.
Noriez, I think, in the chat said, "Is it bad that I prefer Wolf of Wall Street to Goodfellas?" Yes, it is.
Probably.
It absolutely is bad.
I'm scared because I kind of like Goodfellas. I hope I don't like Wolf of Wall Street. No, I'm just kidding.
When was the last time you watched Goodfellas?
I saw it for the first time 2 years ago. I had never seen it before. Huh. I was whatever on it. But Casino blew me away again. That was within the last year.
Yep.
I need to watch that again.
I shouldn't say I dislike Goodfellas. Again,
You shouldn't say
but
that.
it wasn't as strong as the other thing. And you know what's funny is when I was younger, when I was in high school, I saw The Last Temptation of Christ and really, really liked it and whatever. And I saw that within the past year and was like, I see the reasons why I liked it, but this isn't that entertaining. Like I was like, it was like I didn't need to like own it.
Dappy Doo says meth fellas.
Oh, that's good.
Mottboy8 in the chat says, this is my first time watching the podcast live and I'm hating it. I'm going to go back to the highlights. This guy's been bashing us in our chat room this entire time.
Awesome. Cool. I didn't
Just
even know.
shitty jokes.
I'm not even paying attention to him. I didn't even know he was
I just
there. I've been
saw-
watching the chat all night. And
I
he
just
hasn't
saw
seen
this
you.
guy mope in the chat a minute ago. It was like,
cool.
What a
piss on that
punk.
guy.
What a punk.
And I know he's going to say that's why it sucks, but yeah. Well,
okay.
you suck, Mothboy.
Yeah.
That's an alternate opinion.
Go back to your bucket.
All right.
All right, cool. Hey, thanks for the call.
See
All
ya.
right, bye guys. Love
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. That was rude that I started talking about that. We still had a caller. That was
Yeah, it
mean
was
of me.
very
I
rude.
shouldn't have
It's
done
fucked
it.
up.
Officer KG says, Rocco, can you smoke a cigarette? Hold on. Where is it?
Well, I
A fucking e-cigarette.
Yeah, I can smoke a fucking e-cigarette, motherfucker.